Hi there. Today we're talking about spirituality versus groupthink, happy clapping, religion. So here we go. Now the young don't fear death, and why should they? They have their whole life ahead of them. If it's cut tragically short, it's a shock to everyone. But as folks get older, the thought of death and what, if anything, comes next begins to creep into their thoughts a little bit. Now religious people have their faith in a God who is all-powerful, all-knowing and very benevolent. At times. When you die though, you expect some of that all-loving God's universal kindness to be imparted, but according to religion, you may well be disappointed. In answer to all manner of so-called sins, you could be heading for an eternity in a lake of fire, being constantly tortured at the behest of this God of love. Let me tell you now that this just isn't so. Universal love is what awaits, not punishment for getting it wrong. When you pass back, you are greeted by loved ones you knew in this life who passed back before you, and those who you knew before this life. There is no judgment of you except by you, and you will be your harshest critic. How many lives did you touch in a heartfelt way? How many people were better off spiritually for knowing you? How much love and kindness did you impart in the world? Religion is a human institution, created, directed and maintained by humans, mostly for profit. You are obligated to accept the teachings, laws and limitations of the religion or faith you follow in order to be accepted by the group. Groupthink is not only encouraged, in many cases it's mandatory to group acceptance. With religion you follow the teacher. With spirituality you follow the universal truths as an individual as imparted to you. Truly spiritually awakened people do not require faith in a religion, for they have achieved a state of knowing. It's far better to know than to believe. Spirituality is not a human institution. Spirituality is a consciousness, an awakening to, an awareness of what and who you really are. A spiritual being occupying a human body. Think on that for a while. You are a spiritual being inhabiting an earthly body for the purpose of an earthly journey. Spiritual awareness usually happens quite quickly, just by sitting alone in nature and meditating, or just contemplating and thinking about the natural world and all the energies that inhabit it. You will start to see the world and all of nature with new eyes. You will develop oneness, a connection with it, and that is just the start. When the awareness comes, it's so profound it cannot be ignored. Women with their natural sensitivity and gift of intuition generally reach the awareness first. Men, more often trapped by their egos and the competitive requirements of a masculine society, often struggle to get there. With spirituality, you have the freedom to learn about your true nature and the nature of reality outside of the limitations of the dogma and doctrine of religion or the limitations of society. Once you have the knowledge you gain from spirituality, religion is seen for what it is. It's false, it's a control mechanism, and nothing more. You can be one or the other, religious or spiritual, but you can't be both. Inevitably, so many who are raised in religious institutions and eventually develop a need for a deeper understanding will ultimately reject the religion in favour of their spirituality. To awaken to this spirituality is a truly wonderful experience. It's a connection to the energies of nature and of the universe itself that you must initially seek in solitude, in a quiet place, in a quiet woodland, in your garden, in peace. And remember this, you are not the body, you are the energy that keeps the body going. Once you understand that, it's a logical step to connect with the energy of other living creatures and on other levels, and thereby evolving your consciousness. What do I mean by that? Well, firstly, You will be acutely aware of your undeniable link to all things in nature, and you will be overwhelmed with a desire to care for all creatures and all of Mother Earth. Now, your link with the energies of the universe will give you an awareness of the futility of possessions and of greed. It will give you a raised level of awareness of the love and compassion that you should show all living things. You will be able to look into the eyes of animals and see the sentient spirit within. You will be aware that this creature is aware of the need to give and receive love. The animal has an awareness and a spirit, or what you would call a soul. A spiritual person has no need for a faith in a God who may or may not torture you for eternity after you die. A spiritual person develops a state of knowing which is profound. Occasionally, a spiritual person may be asked by others to prove what they say they know, but you cannot, nor should you try. It's an individual experience. You are on your journey, and the questioner is on theirs. Proof will never be given until a person seeks it with a genuine heart, and then they must do the seeking.